The rain's falling really softly this morning. Midsummer has passed and everything is in complete and utter abundance. It's growing, growing, growing. It's just amazing. I love this time of year because of everything being so full on. These are the roses, some of the roses. I think this is quite an old rose bush. The original plant, if I remember rightly, was given to me from and grown on from a cutting that someone had done. Now, God, just look at the roses on there. It's just crazy, really, isn't it? And I made a little willow arch last year just to help support those roses, because originally what I'd done was I bought one of those metal arches, and of course they're made out of very thin kind of tinny metal, and the whole thing collapsed under the weight of the roses. They're scented as well. Beautiful, aren't they? And further on there, that white blossom is called Spirea bridal wreath. I think it's called bridal wreath because it has these beautiful curving arches of white flowers to it. And of course all these trees, they're all less than 7, 8 years old. And all the dog daisies. They're lovely. And valerian. And that plant on the left, the ground cover plant, that's called Rubus. Now that's the one that comes out with these beautiful little white flowers, which then turn into fruits. And you just see them there on the tips, beginning to make an appearance. And those fruits are a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry. And that makes a perfect little ground cover as well, because it means you don't have to worry about, weeds taking hold, because it grows like a weed. The weeds that you don't want don't get a look in. This is a little Biglia, a little butterfly bush that again just grew up through the gravel. The mother tree would be here somewhere in the garden, and the seeds are carried by the wind and carried by the birds, and they're dropped all over the gravel, and that's where I harvest a lot of the Biglia trees from. So this one was harvested last year as a tiny seedling, grown on in a pot and planted out this year in this little stone bed. And the same goes for this one. Now you can tell just looking at the leaves, this is a different variety of Biglia. I think this is the white Biglia. I won't know for certain until the flowers open up and you can see there's a flower beginning to come into some kind of maturity. The vegetable beds, this one here is less than a week old. I mean, just look at those plants. They've gone a bit crazy. I'll just show you though what I've come up with for the pumpkin, because pumpkins actually do like to grow upwards And what I've done is I've stuck a bit of willow from the willow that I saved last year into the pot, which doesn't have a bottom on it, so it goes right through onto the soil. And I've woven that in with the willow that's supporting the beans. So you can see the pumpkins already started to cling on there. And that was only put in yesterday. Well, plants are very intelligent. They have a good notion of what's happening around them. It would appear so anyway, wouldn't it? The lettuce here is really tasty looking and abundant. And there's a pumpkin there, look, which is just naturally going up towards the willow that's supporting the beans. So what I shall do later on today is reinforce that